Call your next witness.
Yes, Your Honor. Plan to call Nancy Iskander.
Please remain standing. Please raise your right hand. You solemnly state the testimony you may give in the cause now pending before this court is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do. Thank you. Please be seated.
Okay, why don't we just do a test on it?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah,
How's
hold
that?
on.
And you can please state and spell your name for the record.
My name is Nancy, Nancy, and my last name is Iskander, Iskander.
It's fine.
Okay. Just try to keep your voice up as best you can. How are you doing today?
I'm okay, thank you.
And where do you live now?
I live in Natick, Massachusetts.
I think we got to work on this.
It's still not good?
Hold the face closer.
Is that good? Okay. I live in Natick, in Massachusetts.
And how long have you lived there?
We moved in July of last year.
Okay. Where were you born?
I was born in Alexandria in Egypt.
What's your date of birth?
My date of birth is November 2nd, 1983.
I want to show you Exhibit 420, number 1, and then number 2, just a little background on where you came from. So the first exhibit, if we could show that, is showing where Alexandria, Egypt is located. All right, well, hold on just a second. While he's doing that. Oh, voila.
Okay.
Okay, so this exhibit 420-1, this is just a globe. We're going to orient everyone where you were born. Okay, and that's where you grew up?
Yes.
And did you attend school there?
Yes.
And what is it like, Alexander? Just give us a little summary of what's the place like if we go to the next slide.
It's a beautiful city. It's really ancient. It was built by Alexander the Great himself. It's by the Mediterranean Sea. It's really nice. It is kind of crowded also. And I was born there in a Christian family, and that's a minority in Egypt.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. Push the microphone, the base of the mic, yeah, toward your right.
Like that?
So that when your head is turned that way, you want the mic in front of you.
Got it. So that's my, that's Alexandria. It's in Egypt.
Could you tell us a little bit about growing up in Alexandria?
Yeah, I grew up there, and then I went to, in a family. I have an older brother and a younger sister. She's here today.
Your sister, where does she live?
She now lives in Austin, Texas.
And she came here to be with you today?
Yeah, she's here. She's a dentist. My brother lives in Canada. I went to school there, and I finished pharmacy school in Alexandria, and I graduated with a bachelor's in pharmacy.
Tell us about your family growing up.
Yeah, and I grew up with my parents, my mom and dad, and my dad sometimes wasn't involved, but my mom worked many jobs and she worked hard to raise me. She inspired me to be the person I am today. She was an ophthalmologist, that's an eye doctor, and she's also an eye surgeon. So she did, surgeries, laser surgeries, and stuff like that.
Okay, growing up with your mom, working professional, what did you take from that?
Yeah, like I said, I was really inspired to build a family and you know, work hard also and have a good career like hers.
So, what was it about your mom and how she raised your family that made you want to both work and have a family?
Well, she worked hard, but I could see how she's getting rewarded for it, right? She worked hard. She was able to raise the three of us. My brother's an engineer. I'm a pharmacist. My sister's a dentist. We're all successful, and she, you know, the years of hard work paid off. You know, from really early on, she could see it, how we're turning out, and she was always proud of us.
Okay. In your culture in Egypt, is family important?
Very important, yes. Family is very important. Divorce is uncommon. People live for their children and they work to raise their children.
And is there a word, and what is your first language?
My first language is Arabic.
And is there a word in Arabic that you refer to that describes family?
Yeah, we call it aila.
And is there a word in Egypt that you, strike that question. Is there another word that talks about children in one's life in Arabic?
Yeah, so it's more of a mother's word or a parent's word that they say, which is awladi hayati, and that means like my kids are my life.
Could you spell that?
Awladi hayati, that's like
You could do it in characters?
yeah.
All right. Is it spelled A-W-L-A-D-I-H-A-Y-A-T-I in
Yes.
English?
Yes.
All right. You graduated from college in Alexandria in pharmacy. Why were you interested in pharmacy?
I wanted a good career, and also my mom, you know, wanted to have one of her kids become a pharmacist, so I would also want to make her proud, and I liked chemistry.
At some point in time, did you decide that you wanted to leave Egypt?
During my third year of pharmacy school, I thought about, you know, what other studies I could take, how can I, you know, improve, get a better career. So I thought about getting a PhD in the US and started thinking that route, how can I, you know, do a postgrad.
And where did you move to?
Withdraw
that. Just tell us the process of you checking out the schools, coming to the U.S., and what transpired.
Yeah, so I looked at the number of schools, but I was really hoping to get into the PhD program at Baylor College of Medicine, that's in Houston. And at the time, I met someone who said, you know, she knows that guy who ended up to be my husband, but she knows that guy who goes there and he can answer my questions, he can help me. So I came and I interviewed, but I never got it. I did not get into the PhD program. I ended up getting my master's at the University of Houston, but I did marry a PhD.
I want to show you Exhibit 7. And first of all, you mentioned that you and your family were Christian.
Yeah.
Is that the majority or the minority of the people that live in Egypt? Are they Christian or some other religion?
So Egypt is a Muslim country, and the Egyptians, the Christians, are about 10% of the population. So we're a minority.
This church, what is the name of this church?
Actually, maybe next slide.
Oh, next one. That's the university, right? Here we go.
Yeah, so that's the church. That's the St. Mark's Church in Egypt. And it's actually the church where I got married also, where my wedding happened. And it's built where the Apostle Mark was.
And are churches in Egypt named after saints, different people? How are they named?
They're named after saints, sometimes after like the cross or ascension, or you know, it's a variety.
Was faith important to you growing up?
Yes, very much so. Because when you're a minority, you kind of have to be proud of your faith, work hard, and establish yourself. And then faith is part of everything you do.
Was it hard? Were there issues that developed in Egypt because of your religion?
it is not an equal opportunity, if you will, for Christians there as everybody else.
I'm going to show you exhibit slide 420-8, and this is, could you tell us where this is? Well, no, this is your journey. This is how far it is. It's a long way from Alexandria to Houston, Texas, right?
Yes.
Had you ever been to Houston, Texas before?
No, it was my first time.
Had you traveled at all?
I had only traveled like within Egypt.
But you'd never been outside of Egypt?
I haven't.
So how old were you when you got on the plane and flew to Houston?
I believe I was 20.
Were you nervous?
I was excited. At the time, I thought I'll make it to the PhD program.
Did you like Houston, Texas?
Yes, yeah, I liked it
What
a
did you
lot.
like about it?
I really liked the medical center in Houston. It's very advanced. It's very, a lot of resources there, a lot of big names in science and medicine. I liked the Egyptian community there. We had a good church, so it was really nice.
Is there a significant Egyptian community in Houston?
Yeah, it was big enough for me to feel like I have a community to relate to and be friends with.
When you went to Houston, did you eventually meet Karim Iskander?
Yeah.
Tell us how that happened.
So I met him at church. I had some questions for him, and then he asked me out.
Okay, who did a friend of yours introduce you?
Yeah, it was one of his neighbors in Egypt. She was in a choir with me.
And what kind of choir were you in?
It was a Catholic church choir.
So you were Coptic, Orthodox, but you're in the Catholic choir. Why was that? You love to sing?
I love to sing, and I love all churches.
Okay. Can you tell us about your first date with Karim Iskander?
Yeah, he took me out to a steakhouse, and it turned out it would be the happy hour, though. But it was nice.
Did. And what was Mr. Iskander, what was he doing at this time? I'm showing you Exhibit 420.
He was a PhD student. He was still finishing up his PhD.
And that's Baylor
At Baylor's, yeah, at Baylor.
Medical School. Now, Baylor University is located in Waco, Texas. This is far from here.
Yeah.
But is the medical school located here in Houston?
Yes,
And is that a good medical school?
excellent, yes.
And your future husband, what was he doing there at the time?
He was doing a PhD, yeah.
And what areas of study was he into?
I believe pharmacology. I
Oncology?
got distracted after that.
All right. So, on your first date, did you tell him anything about your future, what you were looking for?
Yeah, we were talking about, what everyone wants to do with life, and I said, my dream is to get married and have 6 kids.
And what did he say to that?
He said that's a good idea. So that's when I knew, I had to marry him, because no one else would say that.
You said that to other men and they didn't have the same reaction? When did you get married?
We got married in 2008.
And here's a picture of 420-11. Is this your wedding?
Yes,
And where was the wedding?
in Egypt.
When did he propose? How long had you been dating before he proposed?
We started dating in 2005. He proposed in 2007, and we got married in August 2008.
I'm going to show you, where did you live when you got married?
We lived in a townhome in Houston, in a condo.
Why did you live at that condo?
He had it. He was already living there, so I just moved in with him.
How long were you married before you became pregnant?
Maybe 6 months, maybe from August till January.
During the course of your life, once you began to have children, did you do something throughout that period of time to memorialize the events that took place in your family, in your children's lives?
Yeah, so I think many moms, think of that and do that. So what I did, I started doing when, milestones were reached, I started, scrapbooking a little bit, keeping memories, keeping photos, and sometimes even keeping like actual things, like some hair from Mark's first haircut or Jacob's first tooth to lose or things like that I kept. And then these became many scrapbooks. So I decided to create email addresses for the boys and to send them the memories as they come. So if they do something at school or a graduation, then I'll send it to his email. And then this way, my hope is that we, as they grow up, we would look at these emails and cherish them and look at the memories. And I would also write a note sometimes in the email. And then I also wanted them to have something to look at, notes from me after I die. So I started doing that, and it was really sweet for a while until they died.
And did you enjoy doing that, and your children enjoy that, and
Yeah.
a lot of love exchanged?
Yes.
And did you didn't think that you someday would be here in this case having to prove the loss that you've suffered?
Not in a million years, no.
I want to show Exhibit 420-12. This is from your scrapbook. Describe what we see here.
Yeah, so that's the day Mark was born. That's from my scrapbook. As you can see, I'm not very talented in scrapbooking, but I was just trying to document events. But that's September 18, 2009, when Mark was born.
What was Mark like as a baby?
He was a sweet baby. He was very smart and wit.
And here I'm showing you Exhibit 420-13.
Yeah, that's him at school. He was very smart. He started talking early. And his teachers would describe him as smart and funny. These were his things. And I remember when I found out I was pregnant with my second boy, I went home and told Mark, Mark, we're having a new baby. And he said, and a new daddy too? That was who Mark was.
Okay, when Mark was born, and is this kind of the cover or just the sheets in the actual scrapbook that
Yeah.
you maintain? Okay, and when Mark was born, how did you decide on what to name him?
We have a strong connection to Saint Mark because he brought Christianity to Egypt, so we owe him our faith. So a lot of Egyptian families will name their firstborn Mark. He was also baptized at a Saint Mark church that was built in Houston. He was the first boy to be baptized at that church, so it was a good name.
What about his middle name?
Yeah, it's Karim's name.
Did Karim lobby for his name be
A
the
little
middle
bit,
name?
Yeah.
You gave in?
Yeah.
Now, did you eventually move out of your condo?
Yeah, when Jacob was born, when my second son was born, we moved to a bigger home in Baylor in Houston.
Did you sell the condo?
No, we kept it.
Why? Why did you keep the condo in Houston?
Very early on, we knew Mark was very smart, and we liked the medical center, and we had dreams that Mark will grow up and want to be near the medical center, whether to work or study. So we kept that condo. So he would always have a home in Houston where we met and where we started our life.
Okay. I want to show you Exhibit 420-14. And if you could explain who the guy in the red suit we might recognize. Who's the one in front of that person?
So I worked for CVS, and I was pregnant with Jacob here. And up in the picture, you see a little Ziploc with Mark's first haircut, some hair from his first haircut. Yeah.
Okay. And again, this is something that you're trying to preserve.
Yeah.
When was Jacob born?
Jacob was born in on January 13th, 2012.
How was his names picked? How were his names picked?
Karim picked his first name, Jacob, and then I wanted my kids' names to be after the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. So he's Jacob Matthew.
And why did Karim choose the name, or you all choose the name Jacob?
He felt it's a really strong name.
When did Mark first meet his baby brother?
I think he met him like a day or two after he was born. He came to the hospital and we met him, and then we took him here. Yeah, he gave him a bottle.
And this is Exhibit 420-15, and there's two humans in that picture.
Yeah.
Who's the one with the red shirt?
So that's Marky, and he's giving his brother a bottle. And I remember we took the baby home, and about a week later, Mark asked me, he said, "The baby's real nice, but when's his mom coming to pick him up?" He was done.
You wrote something there. I'm thankful for family. Tell us what you were trying to say.
That's a card that Mark made for me for that same year. I'm thankful for my family, and he put a picture, like a little drawing of all of us inside the card. So I just put it in the scrapbook.
Did Mark like being a big brother to Jacob?
Yes, yeah, he liked it.
Let me show you 420-16. What is this?
So that's the school. That's the first school Mark went to, like in terms of actual school, pre-K. That's his class there. He's the bottom row, the one on to my side,
And you're in Houston still?
We're in Houston. He went to a school called Veritas. He was really into singing, so we'd sing his teacher. This teacher in the middle, her name is Miss McGowan, and he would sing to her his favorite song from The Sound of Music. I am 16, going on 17, and I'll take care of you.
And this is what they call pre-K?
Pre-K.
Before kindergarten?
Yes.
And who wrote that in the middle there? Something is written.
Yeah, that's a card Mark made for me.
Did your children write a lot of cards and notes to you?
Yes, yeah.
What did you do with them?
I keep everything. I have,
So you've saved every note,
I've saved
every
everything.
card that your
Everything.
children
Yes.
have ever given you their entire life.
Right.
I want to show you 420-17 and ask you to tell us what this is.
Yeah, this is Jacob. He also started pre-K at the same school. They now have a bench with their names on it for that school. But this is him when he was 3.
How would you describe Jacob's smile?
Jacob was very strong, and he's strong for his age, but he thought he was really, really strong. So his smile was sweet, but also with a lot of confidence.
All right, I'm going to show you now. Is that last one? Are you okay there? Okay, we'll come back to that. What is your mother's name?
Joyce.
And after you've been, when you were married, where did your mom live?
She was still in Egypt. She was a working ophthalmologist.
At some point in time, did your mother leave Egypt?
Yeah, she retired, I believe in 2015, maybe, I'm not sure exactly. But she retired and she came to live with us, to help out with the kids, and also to be with us and to share the memories with us and to enjoy the kids.
How often would she interact with the children?
Oh, very, very, all the time. They were her, she described them, the way she describes them, they are the light her eyes see with. Mark was very close to her. He would sleep in her room and study with her. They were very close. And Jacob too.
How did that make you feel seeing the relationship that your children had with your mother?
I just saw it as a blessing that God gave her after her, long life of hard work. That's, it's paying off now finally, and she has the beautiful relationship with the grandchildren, especially Mark, her first grandson.
Okay, can we go to the next exhibit, 42018, and what is this?
This is a card Mark made for me.
And how old would he be, Mark, in 2013?
He would be turning 4 in September. So I think this one was sometime around May, so 3.5.
And you'd mentioned that the teacher said he was smart as he was going through school. Just tell us how he was doing, how he
At
performed, and homework, and all the things that kids have to do.
He was he was smart and also socially smart. So he was social, knew how to make friends, but also very smart in his academics. And he had a good way to deal with being smart. He never bragged about it. I remember when he was in 3rd grade, they would take him to the 4th grade class for math. And I was so proud. I was so proud. I went around and I told every kid and their mom about Mark going to 4th grade. And then one day I was talking to him about it, I said, I'm really proud of you. And he said, yes, Mom, but stop talking about it, because when it's time for me to leave, I leave through the back door so no one can see me, so I'm not bragging about my math. So I learned from him how to be a good person. He was also very creative, so he could write poems or write essays and things in a way kind of outside the box.
So you mentioned that you learned and get guidance from your son, but he was so young. How did that happen?
He told me, I leave through the back door so I don't brag about it. And I think it was very mature of him to consider the feelings of those around him.
And how did he treat, as he grew up, other children, parents, teachers? How was his demeanor towards others?
He was kind of everyone's friend. Another thing I learned from him is he didn't mind being different. He didn't mind being the one from Egypt in the group. He actually liked that. It didn't bother him. It could bother other kids, but to him, he was comfortable. He was confident. He went for an interview at Oaks Christian. It's a big school, and I asked, what questions did they ask you? And one of the questions was, which celebrity would you rather be? And Mark's response was, I'm Mark Iskander, there's no one else I'd rather be. He was just confident in who he was, and he was smart and happy, a happy child.
When you had birthdays, would you receive cards and things from Mark?
Yeah, always. He was the heart of the home. So he was the only kid who would make sure I get a present from him on Valentine's Day, on Mother's Day, and on my birthday.
Let's talk about that. 2 weeks ago was Mother's Day. How was that day for you?
So that day, Zachary didn't do anything. With Mark, I was used to like waking up, opening my eyes, and there's something special. So there was one year where I woke up and there were papers taped all around my room with like, "Sweet Mom, we love you, Mom," that he did one year. There was another year where he wrote me a song. I think there's a video of that.
Okay,
but this year was extremely hard because, number one, I didn't get anything from Zachary or Karim or anyone. But also my daughter, who's 7, she made me a card at school when the kids were making cards together. And she put a pink heart and she put in it, Mark and Jacob, "Happy Mother's Day, Mom." And it just hit really hard because for her to get any smile from me, she had to write Mark and Jacob in her card.
All right. I want to show you a videotape of exhibit number 43-34, and this is from Mother's Day, and we'll watch it, and then I'm going to ask you to tell us about it. Maybe. Kill me. Sorry. I think he's singing on there, right?
Yeah, he wrote the song and sang it to me first thing in the morning
Right.
when I woke up.
Well,
That was the last Mother's Day I had with him because that was Mother's Day 2020.
Every move that you make, every step that you take, makes us better people too. Adore you, your personality is the reason that all that is true. Mama, do-do-do-do, we love you, do-do-do-do. I said, Mama, do-do-do-do. We all love you, you know that is true.
so when did this happen in the day as Mother's Day came?
It was just the minute he came to my bed, and I don't know if he woke me up or was the minute I opened my eyes. That was his way to deliver presents always.
And how did that make you feel?
Makes you feel special. Yeah.
Have you have any moments like that now?
Not anymore. I mean, I expect it sometimes from Zachary, but it's unfair to expect it because he's not Mark, and everyone's different. And I don't have it anymore. I have to live with that.
I'm going to show you now. Before I do, did the boy, when you were living in Houston, how many children did you have?
2.
And the 2 boys, Mark and Jacob, did they enjoy living in Houston?
Yes.
What did they like about it?
They liked their school. It was across the street from where we lived, so they walked to school. They liked that. They liked the church there, and they liked the zoo, the Houston Zoo.
I want to show you 420-19. Maybe not. Did your family attend church together?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's our church in Houston. This is the church. It was brand new when Mark was born, so he was the first baby to be baptized at that church.
And were you involved in the church community, your
Yes.
family?
Yeah. Yes, very, very much so.
Well, when you had the 2 children and you're living in Houston, what were you doing?
I was working at CVS for a little bit, and then I believe around 2013, 14, it started becoming a bit hard to work every other weekend because as a pharmacist, you need to be working every other weekend. So I moved to a closed-door pharmacy, a compounding pharmacy, where I only worked weekdays and I was available after school.
So why did you not want to work on the weekends?
Because I wanted to be with them. They had started getting, having practices or games on the weekends, or even go to church, and I wanted to be with them every weekend.
When you're living in Houston, you had the 2 children, and you changed jobs from CVS to the compounder at that time. Were you doing anything else other than take care of your family and all of that?
Oh yeah, when I was at CVS, I was still studying for my master's, so I graduated my master's degree around that time.
And what was your master's degree in?
Healthcare administration.
And what was your intention to do in your career?
So just move up within the pharmacy as a pharmacy manager, or in the admin side, or also work in biotech, which is what I do now.
How long did your family live in Houston?
Till 2016.
In 2016, did your family move?
Yes, unfortunately.
Where did you move?
We moved to Westlake Village.
And why did you move to Westlake Village?
We moved to Westlake Village because my husband got a job at AMG. It's a biotech company in Newbury
Let me
Park,
show you.
close to Westlake.
Let me show you 420-20 and this 20. Is this where he went to work?
Yes. And then I also applied for a position there as we were moving, and I got the job, so I'm still with AMG, and he moved
So,
on.
what year are we in now?
2026.
No, I mean, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Amgen.
2016, when we started moving
So
things.
about 10 years ago.
Yes.
Why was it that, or so first of all, did you want to move to Westlake?
As an area, you mean? Yeah, it's beautiful. I think Westlake Village might be the most beautiful neighborhood, maybe in the world. It's really nice, family friendly, clean. The lake is beautiful. Just a quiet neighborhood, no traffic, nothing like that. Safe. It was the perfect. It looked to us at the time. It looked to be the perfect neighborhood to live or raise a family.
And when you moved, you had your 2 children, your husband, yourself,
And
all
my
lived.
mom.
And you moved from Houston, as you see in 420-21, you went to California.
Yes.
Had you ever been to California before?
I've been to California to visit California before the move.
Oh, but you went to check it out?
Yeah. Yeah.
But other than that, did you ever come to California?
I believe once for Disneyland. Yeah.
Okay. I want to show you 420-22. And is this kind of an outline of the West Lake?
Yes.
Lake?
Yeah.
All right. Where the location of the incident that occurred, about how far did you live from there?
We lived up the street, up 3 Springs, so maybe 2 miles. I'm not exactly sure of the distance, but we lived in that neighborhood.
Once you moved there, did you like it?
I liked it a lot. Yeah.
What did you like about it?
Like I said, I liked that it was family friendly. There were playgrounds. There was opportunities to bike around the lake a lot. I liked what I thought to be safe. It really wasn't, but
As you moved to Westlake, did you continue to make these scrapbook entries of memories for your children?
I think at that time I had started the email addresses, so I would just send them emails with notes.
Did they actually have ways to check their email?
Yes, yeah. Mark sometimes would respond to me, a couple of them. I don't know if Jacob was, on top of his emails as much.
All right, and I want to did I ask you to just pick out some of the kind of highlights to share with everyone here today?
Yeah.
We could be going on for weeks going through every entry.
Yeah, because I always, almost on daily basis, there's something happening or a picture taken somewhere or a cute memory that I would send them.
Okay, I want to now, let's go to 420-23 and tell us what this is, this memory.
That's the scrapbook. That's Jacob's lost tooth. The first time he loses a tooth. That's May 31, 17. He had graduated from pre-K and lost the tooth on the same day.
So he graduated pre-K, lost a tooth. Did the tooth fairy come?
Yeah, that's why the tooth is in the scrapbook.
All right. I want to show you now 420-24. And as we look at that, was Mark involved in some sports?
Yeah, so Mark played hockey, ice hockey. and
No,
this
don't
was
show this one. Don't show the email.
His coach. This was his coach.
No, they could show the exhibit. Just
Yeah.
it's just it's okay.
Yeah, so I would send him pictures like that, memories. He loved his coach, and this was his first little trophy. He played hockey at the Isoplex in Simi Valley.
The Isolate Burbank,
It's in Simi Valley.
Simi Valley. Were you involved in this hockey?
Absolutely, yeah. I was involved, of course. I'd go with him. They had sometimes, Mom mom and me games I would play also. It's a very, very cold place. If anyone here
Did you have a
visited.
nickname?
My nickname was Momsicle.
Momsicle? So when,
That's what he called me.
and did they have these practices? Are they like in the middle of the day, at 2 in the afternoon, or are they at different times? that
It
you
was
have-
different times. Sometimes it was early in the morning. Sometimes it was after school. Sometimes on Saturday morning. It was all over the place, and it's a freezing place to be. But I enjoyed it
But did Mark enjoy hockey?
very much. He loved hockey.
Did you think that was a little unusual for parents to have a child from Egypt? Did you have any ice in Egypt?
Yeah, no, yeah, but Mark was always different. He was always the kind of guy trying something new, and he would enjoy most of the things he
I
tried.
want to show you, and don't publish this to the system, 420-25. Okay, what is this?
Yeah, this is Jacob. Sorry, oh here. So this was the last day, I believe, of kindergarten for Jacob, 2018. I wrote last day of school, last day of kindergarten for my brave, sweet, awesome, and very cool Jacob. I love you so much, Mom. And that's him there, the first kid in the picture.
This in the front?
Yeah,
And this is something that you do almost daily?
almost daily. All the memories,
Okay.
they have them in their emails, and they can go back and enjoy them.
Was this one of the ways that you express your love and joy with your children?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you
And
feel
I
good?
was,
Were you proud when your children did things like graduating from school and all of those milestones, as you call them?
absolutely, yeah. And I was very proud when we would go back together and look at pictures and, cherish the moments together.
How does it feel to you now for Jacob and Mark not having those milestones, those events?
So I don't think anyone here maybe heard this ever. I feel that I am dead. I don't think any witness or victim ever said that. But how I feel truly is when they were happy, I was happy with them. Whenever they were disappointed or sad, I was disappointed and sad with them. So now they died. So I am dead with them. I'm never able to enjoy every moment to the fullest because part of me is simply dead. Part of my heart is gone. And it's just gone because they're at the cemetery. I got no graduation. Mark was supposed to be graduated. He's supposed to graduate high school this year. Last week, this past Sunday, we had a big celebration at my church for the high schoolers. I wasn't there. I'm here instead. So I get to cry, and I get to grieve, and I get to think about my loss. I get to think and imagine their graduations, their engagement. I like to sit down and just imagine how he would have proposed, how creative he was, and with the songs, how he would have, the kind of girl he would bring home. And now it's just none of that.
I want to show you Exhibit 420-26. This is August 2018, about 2 years before their death.
Yeah,
What is going on here?
it's the first day of school, 4th grade for Mark, first for Jacob, and Zachary started pre-K.
And this is at the Ascension School?
That's at Ascension, yes.
So at this time, 2018, how many of your children were attending the Ascension School?
3.
And how did you and your family like it? How was it?
We love the school. What we look for education for our kids is biblical education and also a place that feels like family for them and where they get a lot of love. And Ascension is the place to get a lot of love. And when they get love like that, they shine and they're a lot more confident. So we love Ascension.
why was it important to you to take this picture?
It was a memory that I was hoping that one day they'll put together, year after year, and see themselves on the first day of school for each year. And I would be there to, enjoy that with them.
What about the relationship with your family and your children and the church itself, even though you weren't Lutheran, you were Coptic Orthodox? How did you deal with the different religions and being in one school that's a different religion, going to your other church, it's different? How did you deal? How you and your family deal with that?
We really don't think about differences at all. We only think about the hearts, the people around us, the love, the church itself as a body of Christ. Actually, in fact, my Lutheran pastor is here today with me to support me. So we are, we connect. Wherever there was love, we were there and enjoying it.
All right. Did Mark act like a big brother to his younger siblings?
Yeah, Mark was the heart. He was the support of all his siblings. He was the one Jacob looked up to. He wanted to be like him, but also in his own way. Zachary is different because Zachary doesn't have like a strong personality like Jacob, so he would just follow Mark blindly, do whatever Mark does. And then the little girl, she was, to me, he was her protector, and he was someone that I looked for her whole life, right? Someone who will look out for her, be there for her, maybe walk her down the aisle. Like someone who will love her, understands how she grew up, and will guide her in life. That was Mark for them.
Oh, I want to show you Exhibit 420-29, which is September 23rd, almost 2 years to the day. And before we watch it, don't put this on the screen. Before we watch it, just tell us what was the occasion. And again, just so we know, everyone on the email is an Iskander, right?
Yeah.
You're just sending this to the family.
Yes, I sent to all the kids because then this way they will all have the memory. And this one was a sweet moment where Mark was reading a book to his little brother. And I remember as I was taking the video, I said, when you grow up, you'll see how Mark took care of you and taught you about snakes. He was reading a book about snakes to Zach.
All right, if we could play that, please.
They can't even hear it. Snakes don't have outer ears. The cocoa watch.
Where is this taking place?
This was in my bedroom.
And who was there at this time?
Myself and the boys.
And are you taking a
The video.
video
Yeah.
with your phone?
Yes.
And how did that make you feel?
It's so sweet. It makes me feel proud of myself because my kids love each other. Because that I think on its own is an achievement. And then also it gives me peace and comfort that Zach will always have a friend who understands him and understands how he grew up, and will guide him through life and take care of him.
At some point in time, did you and your husband welcome a girl after the 3 boys?
Yes, I always wanted a girl, to be honest, and that's why I went to 3 boys. I really wanted a girl. I wanted the pink and the bows, and I really wanted a girl. But then it was, she just came in 2018, in November.
All right, I'm going to show you 420-30.
Yeah.
This is November 19th, November 29th, 2018.
Yes.
What are we seeing in the picture?
So this is at the hospital Violet was born. Her name is Violet, and I sent them a picture of the day we took her home.
Was this a special day for you?
Very special, yeah.
Why?
I always knew I wanted a girl to enjoy the girl, but I never realized how sweet it is and how much to enjoy when you have an older brother and a girl, because the 9-year difference between her and Mark made him almost like a third parent, and showing her love and kindness all the time was something I truly enjoyed and loved.
Is that missed today?
Absolutely, every day. It's gone.
I'm going to go to
and I feel it.
How did they react, Mark and Jacob, when they got sick?
So Mark was okay. When I said I was a daughter, when I was still pregnant, Jacob asked, could we change it? He wanted a fourth boy. But overall, Mark wanted to spoil her and take care of her. He really he enjoyed spoiling her. He would be the one to pick the color of her bows whenever we left the house. And Jacob, he always enjoyed being the bodyguard, the strong guy. So he wanted to be her protector. And his favorite thing to say was, never mess with her. Never mess with her.
I'm going to show you Exhibit 403. It's a video. Hopefully we can get it, but you'll get the picture of it.
Yeah.
What's happening here?
This is Mark. He is putting on her shoes. That day we were going out for ice cream.
Okay. Good job.
Why did you take a video of that?
Give me a high five. Good job.
Like I said, I really liked how much he loved her and took care of her.
All right. I want to show also 404, video of Mark and Violet. Again, November 19th, this is again the same thing. You send me, no, maybe not.
It's cute.
Did you take
So
that video?
yeah, that's. I think that should show everyone how tender-hearted he was,
And
kissing her hand.
do you miss seeing the interaction between Mark and Jacob and your daughter Violet?
Absolutely, yes. I think about it every day.
And I want to show you one other video of Mark and Violet, and this is 43-39. And I would like you to describe what we're going to see here when you see it.
Okay, Bibi. Bibi, I'm gonna spoil you, okay?
I'm gonna spoil you, okay? Okay.
Is that how he treated his young sister?
Yeah, and in a way, that's how he treated me as well. He was just a heart.
Did Mark help his other siblings with homework, religion, things like that?
Yeah. He took care of Zachary really, because Zachary's the kind of boy who likes to follow, and he was a great example, and he just followed him, and he wanted to be like him. So, and Jacob too. So he was kind of the glue of the family.
So let me show you 420-31. And this is one that you selected that you wanted to share. And when I put it up, okay, before we see it, tell us why you wanted to share this.
Yeah, Mark was teaching his brother to pray, and I felt it was a moment where I felt I must be a good parent, must be doing something great because he's teaching his brother to pray.
All right, let's take a look at it.
Like this. Straight. No, look at the cross. Okay, now look at me. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy
He wasn't very successful, but he tried.
the kingdom come, that thy will be done
On earth.
on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread.
Forgive us our
Forgive us our trespasses
as we
Forgive
forgive.
those who trespass against us.
So,
lead us not into temptation. And say, and lead us not into temptation.
how old was Mark at this time? 9?
9.5, yeah, because he turned 10 September 2019.
Okay. Was he successful? Did he ever eventually learn the Our Father?
Well, Zachary doesn't like to memorize things, but yeah, he's okay.
Let's, how did that make you feel when you saw one of your sons giving support, guidance, help to a younger sibling? As a parent yourself, how did you feel?
When I moved here to the U.S., I never had family living around me. You know, it was just Karim and I. We had some friends, but it was just Karim and I in Houston. Also Karim and I with my mom in California. No family, no cousins, nothing like that. So whenever I saw the kids together, taking care of each other, I would feel like really blessed because I wanted them to be best friends in life. And I was glad that they have each other. They will continue to have each other forever.
I'm going to show you 420-32. This is from July 10th. Please don't publish that. July 10th, 2019. Could you tell us what's happening here?
I sent the email a bit later, but that was the 4th, July 4th. They had a little festival in Moore Park in California, here in California.
So in this one, you send the bottom email. Oh, no, wait. That's
No, I sent both.
okay. We start. You send an email at 9:27 at night, and you say what?
Oh, yeah, I can see now. I sent the email and I said, "Mommy loves you boys." And then Mark responded, said, "Love the pics."
And Mark responded 3 minutes later
Yes.
on that summertime. See if I staying up later. And you responded back to him later in the evening.
Yeah.
And what did you tell him?
Love you.
What did it make it feel like that you can communicate by email coherently with a 9-year-old?
Yeah.
How did it make you feel?
It wasn't something unusual for Mark. He was smart, and unlike other boys his age, he cared to respond. He cared to talk to the person in front of him and socialize. He wasn't a shy boy. So it's I promise. I'm not saying that because he died. He really was really good.
Let's go to 42033. Just don't publish the email. And this is now a couple months later, about 3 months later. And what's happening here?
So Mark ran for student council, for historian, the student council at school, and he gave a little speech for the kids to vote for him. And his pun at the end of that speech was, "Mark my word." So I sent him an email and I said, with the memory, and I said, "Look who ran for student council in 5th grade and won. I love you. I'm so proud of you. I pray for you every night that God bless you and keep you. Mark my words."
How did it make you feel when your son was elected to the student council?
So he didn't even tell me he was running, so I felt very proud that he took something on and he wrote a speech and gave the speech, and I didn't even know until after the fact when he said, "I got the majority of votes."
Well, let's show 42034. Now this is who?
This is Jacob giving his speech in 2nd grade.
And were
That's
you
my
there?
email to him.
And tell us about your participation in the activities at school, even though you're working with your children.
Yeah, I remember that day especially because I had a work meeting for Engine. I remember the meeting itself and all the details, and I was I had my headphones and I was listening to my call, but I had to be at school because he won. He was, about to give the speech in front of the school.
All right.
So I had 2 phones, one for the call and one to take this video, and I'm so glad I did.
Let's take a look. It sounds not great. Are you able to hear that? I got bad here. How old was he at this time? It's 27 years old.
7.
What grade? Second grade?
2020, he was born, actually he had just turned 8 in January, and that's February 6th, so just turned 8.
8 in 1 month.
8 in 1 month,
How
yeah,
did
and
he
then
was second
September
grade?
of that year he died,
Second grade?
2nd grade.
So he's actually would be young for his class.
Yeah, he's a January student.
Okay, so how far is Amgen from the school in this vicinity?
So it's about 20, school was about 20 minutes from home, and then engine about another 15 minutes. So I would do the drive in the morning, I would drop him off, and then my mom would pick him up at the end of the day.
And and the times you could leave work to go to school events like
On
this?
that day, yeah, I took the call with me, and because I had to be there for him, I had to go see him.
Oh, so you're doing the conference call on one phone and videoing him on the other.
Yes.
How did it make you feel to be there, to see your son doing this?
I feel very, very blessed now, because otherwise I wouldn't have this video. So, and I'm thankful that I had a job that allowed me to be there and still be part of my call.
Do you look at these, have you gone back and reacquaint yourself with all these memories over the time since the deaths?
Every day. Every day.
Why don't we take a break? Ken?
Yes, sir.
So, then I talk about the case amongst yourselves or with anyone else. We'll see you back in about 10 minutes.
Good. Okay. Sorry, did you say it's okay, Ron?
Yes.
Exhibit 420-35, again, another email. This is 19 days before the incident. Tell us what's occurring here.
Yeah, so this was Zachary's birthday. It was during the pandemic, so it was a little hard to have a birthday with friends, but Mark and Jacob and I made him this cake. He really wanted a cake where you can pull something, and it's like dollars. So Jacob and I, we used a hot iron to put money in bags and attach it together, and then we rolled them inside the cake. It was the dream cake for Zach, and this was the last birthday where all the children were together. September 1, 2015 is when Zachary turned 5.
All right, I'm going to play that for us.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Zachary. Happy birthday to you. Wait. Sana helwa Maya Sua. Sana helwa
were celebrating this moment with your family?
Well, I really loved how they cared about him, how they wanted him to get the cake of his dream. We've tried multiple things to attach these dollars to a long bag, and it took some work from the three of us, and to roll it in. So I really loved how they cared to make him happy, and I wanted that for him for his whole life. I never, ever, ever thought it could be his last birthday with them.
You got a lot of mileage out of the $10.
Was it only 10? Maybe more. I don't know.
When the first birthday song was sang, and Mark says, wait, and they sang another song.
That's Jacob. Jacob said, no. So the other song is in Arabic. It says, happy birthday with Jesus. And it was Jacob's thing. He wouldn't blow his candle without also singing happy birthday with Jesus.
Well, I want to now, your husband, we can take that down. Your husband testified, and he talked a lot about your children's personalities, demeanor, so I don't want to go over the same stuff, so I want to do different with you, okay? So the first I want to ask you is, as a mother, what make Mark unique to you?
To me, he was my firstborn. He was all my firsts, and I was looking forward for him to be my first high school graduation, my first engagement, but to attend for a son. I really liked and enjoyed him. Everyone describing him as funny and sweet and smart. Who wouldn't want that? All the teachers highlighting that he's smart, his confidence, and then he's also, like I said earlier, he was someone that I learned from. He taught me not to brag.
All right, I want to show you now. Oh, by the way, was Mark into music?
Yeah, he played the guitar and the glockenspiel, and he liked to sing also.
I want to show you 420-36. It's a photograph. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us what we're seeing here.
So this was he played basketball on the picture to the left. And then the other one was his photo. This picture was actually taken during his last Sunday school class before he died. Picture in the black shirt.
Well, what about cooking?
Yeah.
Was that something that he liked?
Yes, he was into food. He was a foodie. He even had plans with his grandma that whenever he goes to college, he'll eat out 5 days, and then she'll cook for the weekend or stuff. Like he had it all planned out. He thought about food a lot. His first question whenever I pick him up from school was like, "What's for dinner?" And he liked to cook also. He sometimes did. He liked to do the chopped competitions with his dad, the show chopped. And he liked me to put potatoes in his basket so he could fry them and fry them differently every time and play with his potatoes. And then of course wings and spicy food and spicy Cheetos.
All right. And with respect to his birthday, was that close in time to someone else in the family?
Yes, so his birthday, September 18th. My mom's birthday is the 17th. So they were always celebrating together. He'll take her out on dates. My dad passed away, so he was kind of like her date. He took her that last birthday before he died. He took her to the Cheesecake Factory. And he had my credit card, and he paid. When he came home, he said, "Mom, you won't believe it. They gave me the kids menu." So it was a nice memory.
So, that birthday was how many days before he died?
11. 11 days exactly.
How did you feel 11 days before your two sons died when your son was celebrating his 11th?
Yeah. He celebrated his 11th birthday.
How was that?
The birthday?
or my feeling.
The birthday, and how did you feel
The
then?
birthday, for his birthday, I made him a cake, a skateboard shaped cake, and it was number 11. I was really proud. He went out to the beach with his friends, with Karim. It was a nice outing. Everyone had fun. Karim had fun. You truly feel like so blessed. It's beyond, right? Everything is working out perfectly, and he loved his birthday. He thanked me for it many times. And then I went from, the happiest I can be to the most devastated I can be.
Have you ever felt like that since September 29,
No.
2020?
Not anymore, because part is dead. There's part of me that died.
I want to show you 420-37. This is Mark describing himself. I think I read this, I believe, with your husband. We went, I think, with this. But does this kind of accurately depict what he was like?
Yes, yeah.
All right, let's go to 420-38. And this is Mother's Day.
Yeah.
And what is this?
He made this for me on one of the Mother's Days. I really like how he wrote that I'm so special, how I can work and still spend time with them all. So this is the kind of kid he was, like truly sensitive to everyone around him and what they do.
How does it make you feel when your son, he's probably 10 years old now at this time,
Yeah.
writes about you that you are loving, funny, encouraging, caring, awesome, great, and unique? How did you feel when you received that card from your son, your oldest son?
You feel like you're blessed, and you feel like you're doing a good job. You're raising a fine man. Then you feel that there's so much more that I should look for, right? There's a lot. He was very promising as a child, and I couldn't wait for him to actually become a neurosurgeon like he wanted and make a lot of money and spoil me a lot more.
All right. At some point in time, you had your, I guess, 4 children
Yes.
going to the Ascension Lutheran School. Is that right?
Right, for 1 year.
And at the time of the incident, you would have had only 3 going to Oaks, or to
No,
Ascension,
3 went
at
to
3 at Ascension, right?
Right.
And where did Mark go to school then?
Mark went to Oaks. He started 6th grade at Oaks in August of 2020.
Okay, this is the school, Oaks Christian. Is that located in Westlake?
Yes, yeah.
And is that a good school?
It's an excellent school.
Do you have to take a test and go through a whole process to be admitted?
Yes, yes.
And why did, but I believe the pastor told us that Ascension went up to 8th grade.
Correct, yeah.
What grade did Mark leave?
So he left in 6th. I remember a group of his friends also were moving with him.
Why did he change?
It's a very prestigious school. He changed because he was always ahead in math, and at Ascension they were doing arrangements for him. It wasn't like a set process for kids who were advanced. But at Oaks he was able to join the 7th grade class immediately as soon as when he started 6th.
So when he would have started Oaks Christian, is it August that they start school now?
It was August 13 of 2020.
So about 6 weeks before he died, he started. Now,
Yes.
at that time, was there something going on in the world that was affecting everyone?
Yes, it was the pandemic. So his brothers were at home, and Violet was also at home. But his school they had school in session, in class, probably 3 days a week, I want to say. So that day he died, he actually attended school. He was on campus.
Were there any activities that he was engaged in the school for
Yes.
the period of time that he was there?
Yes, he did. He played water polo.
Did he like that?
He liked it a lot. He loved water polo, and I was really proud of him.
Is the school known to have a good athletic program?
Yes, they have a number of alums who are also gold medalists, Olympic gold medalists. So it's very advanced.
At that time, Mark was going to Oaks Christian. Your other children, 3 were going to Ascension. You're in the middle of the pandemic. Were you going to work Was your husband going to work? How was that dynamic at the home?
We were working from home. The kids were doing school at home. Mark was going to Oaks a number of times a week. Yeah, and that's how it went.
Is it competitive academically and athletically at Oaks Christian?
Very much so. Yes, it's very
In the time,
competitive.
only 6 weeks that he attended school, how was he doing?
He was doing great. As a matter of fact, one time, 2 weeks in or 3 weeks in, I just got a call from a teacher. I didn't know the teachers at the time because we didn't have a chance to meet in person because of the pandemic, but the teacher called me at random and said, I just want to tell you how wonderful your son is. And you don't know me, I just interacted with him, and I want you to know that we're extremely thankful to have him. He came later and talked to me after Mark
Now,
died.
we heard about his intellect, academically, socially. What was he interested in doing?
He wanted a number of different things. Like I said, so he wanted to be an entertainer. He liked to tell jokes. He liked to perform. There was not one talent event that he did not participate. He had to participate in every talent show. And then his intellect, and then family. He also liked his family.
Was there a specific song that he liked that kind of he used as his mantra for life?
Yes.
What was the name of that song?
It's called Do Something.
And
He had
what
something
is
in
that
his
about?
heart truly against slavery. He really hated slavery and felt strongly about it. So Do Something was, I guess, reminded him how he should always act if he says something unfair, how he sees
Yeah.
unfair.
I want to show you that. That's 420-40. I'm sorry, 472, exhibit 472. Just show you a little. And the song goes on, but what did he do to live out his life as the song talks about?
Yeah, because the song goes on to say, God said, I created you. So he felt like he has a role in this world, and he should act, and he shouldn't shy up or think he's different or anything else like that.
All right, and now I want to switch, talk a little bit about Jacob. We talked a little bit so far, but
Yeah.
what was your relationship with Jason like? Jacob, and here's 420-40. Can you describe that picture in your relationship?
Yeah. So Jacob, he was very athletic. He did cross country and he ran, and he liked to describe himself as my bodyguard. Mom, no one can ever hurt you. I'm your bodyguard. Remember, Mom, I'm strong. I'm your bodyguard. And then Violet's bodyguard also. So that's how he liked me to see him as a strong boy. And in all of my emails, I always say, you're my strongest, my sweetest. And I now, whenever I'm at the cemetery, I remind him that he's my strong boy, and I put flowers with that on it. He was also very, the day they died on September 29th, we just happened to have a discussion about how proud I am with the both of them. And I told Jacob that I'm really proud of how his work is always neat, and his school work is on time and clean and neat and done to perfection. And one thing he liked to say about his academics or anything he's doing really was as perfect as possible. Now it's what we use at home, as perfect as
Well,
possible.
what about the scriptures, the Bible?
He's
and
very
such?
godly. So
Tell
it's-
us about
yeah.
his involvement with scripture.
He was very godly. So I would put him to bed sometimes, and he'll come to my room, wake me up, and remind me, Mom, we didn't read the Bible. Get up, we'll read, even if it's just one verse. We read the Bible before I sleep. So I still sometimes feel him coming to my bed, his feet, to tell me, let's just read at least one verse. He was also good at memorizing. So he memorized Hebrews 11 and recited it to me before he died.
Okay, and was there something in the book of Isaiah that he would talk about to you?
He had a favorite Bible verse.
it was, "Do not be afraid, O Jacob, my servant." And he went around telling everyone that he thinks it's wrote especially for him. This was my verse.
And what would he say about that?
That God doesn't want him to be afraid, and he wrote it for him, for Jacob.
Did you work with him when he was memorizing
Yeah. The Hebrews 11, yeah, I worked with him. He worked on it for a couple of weeks. It was a long chapter. And I couldn't hear it one more time, I remember, but he sat me down on Monday, September 28th, and he said, "I have to recite it to you." And so that's one of the last
Remember how many
memories.
verses it is?
It's a long chapter. I don't remember.
Let me see. What is it about? You can take that one down. What
I
is it
think
about?
I think it's known as the chapter of faith.
Was faith, let me show you 420-42, was faith important to him in his life?
Yes.
At
Yes.
8 years old.
Yes. Yes. Very much so.
Where's that picture?
This was in Cancun.
Now, the song we heard, it's called 10,000 Reasons
Yeah.
to Do Something.
His favorite, song.
And let's talk about sports. And I'll show you first 1563, I think. We looked at a similar picture. 63.
Yeah.
Okay, and what's happening there?
He played basketball at the church team, and then he also did cross country. And he was trying, before he died, he was trying to bring his 100 meters from 18 seconds to 16 seconds. He couldn't do it. 'Cause he died.
1575, next photograph, identify. Where's that?
That was at the beach.
But he liked football?
He liked football. He played with Mark primarily. But he really liked football. They played at the park in Westlake.
Okay. Other than athletics and academics, and reading scripture, what other things did Jacob like to do?
He was he was the women's, he was the ladies' man. He liked to connect with a lot of girls. At school, like, he's always known to be like the one all the girls want to play with or hang out with. He was also like to build stuff to a point where sometimes I would just order something from IKEA just for Jacob to put it together, a table or a shoe rack or something. He really liked handwork.
So, with respect to his schoolwork, academics,
Yeah, academics.
how did he treat that with the work that he was doing and turning in and
To
such?
perfection.
What do you
Everything
mean?
was neat. It's always neat. It's always organized. It's always, if it's not perfect, we'll have to repeat it. His motto was as perfect as possible. I don't turn in anything unless it's as perfect as possible. And that's what Zachary remembers him by now.
Was he the kind of kid that you had to push to do their homework and
No,
go in the
never.
room, make sure they're doing it, or was he different?
No, he was different. He was very independent and strong.
How did that make you feel did you have any of your kids you had to go do the homework routine with?
After they died, but not Mark and Jacob.
Were Mark and Jacob close?
They were so close. They were so close. They were close in age, and they were like, they did everything together. And Mark was super social, and he loved people. And Jacob wanted someone to look up to. So the relationship was really tight.
I want to show you 42043, which is Jacob's project describing his brother Mark at school. Is this kind of, and obviously you and I have looked at this, but when it comes up, is this something that kind of captures how he felt about his brother? How old was he when he wrote this?
I think he was in first grade when he wrote this. He was 6 or 7. And I remember the assignment. It was write about something or someone that is worth to you more than gold. It was St. Patrick's Day assignment. So that's what he wrote. My brother Mark is worth way more than gold because he's smart, cool, and super funny.
And he wrote that with his own handwriting,
His
and
own
how old
hand-
was he?
His own handwriting. He was 6, either 6 or maybe turning 7.
You have good handwriting?
I don't.
Do the pharmacy then.
I don't. Neither does Karim. So he's a special needs.
I'm going to show you just a series of photographs and just move through this. 40 to 44. Just tell us what this is.
It's just a memory of them. They were asleep and hugging.
How did it make you feel to see your 2 oldest children have such a relationship that they did? Well, how would you describe your feeling in your body, how you felt about that every day?
I felt very proud. There's no one better to be your best friend through life than a brother, right? So I felt very proud, and I felt peace and comfort that I can now worry less about them because they have each other to balance through life.
Okay, we'll see the next one, 40, 420, 45. We've seen this.
That's in
Where is that?
Cancun.
Cancun family vacation?
Yeah.
They have a good time?
Yes.
When you go on vacations and trips with the family and the brothers and everyone's getting along like that, how did you feel?
You only imagine them growing up and going to vacations with their wives and their kids, and being close also all through life.
Is that something that you think about, that you'll never go on any trips with Jacob, Mark, their wives, their children, your grandchildren?
Yeah, it's lost, it's gone.
Do you think about that often?
I think about every milestone that I've lost every day.
Let's go to next 46, the same trip, and that's the 3 boys and your husband?
Yeah, we have a cousin there with them. The one
And
with the hat.
who's that in the middle?
So Jacob is wearing the pro status. There's a cousin there, Noah. And then Mark is the one with the personality in the middle.
Let's go to number 47, 420, 47. What is
It was
this?
a birthday party. They put a mustache on Zach.
Did your family have a lot of fun together?
So much fun, yeah.
How about laughter, joy, happiness? Was that in your home?
That's all what we had in our home.
What is it like now?
It was perfect. It's grief, and it's the sense of loss that you don't get over. It's a sense of loss that you have to face every day, every single day.
Let's see, number 48, 420, 48, and where's this taken?
That's a church. They were deacons.
And those,
Tunics.
what do you call
We
it?
call them tunics. Tunics.
That's what they're wearing?
Yeah,
The white
like a
gown
white,
garment?
yeah, yes.
And what are those, fleur-de-lis?
It's just doves and crosses.
And is that something that's unique to the Coptic Church?
Yeah.
Let's see, the next one, 49, or 50, or 49, when was this taken?
This picture with us at the beach, this was taken maybe 2 weeks before they died, close to when they died. We went surfing with them at Malibu.
Do you think about that day often?
Yeah.
Why?
Because these were the last memories. And, one of the worst things about the grief is that you keep looking back and thinking about the same things over and over, because that's all I have.
All right, let's go 2 more, 420, 50. And what's going on here?
That's a barbecue. That's where they went camping with Karim.
What is it,
It
cook
was
hot
just
dogs?
the 2 of them, and they went camping for a couple nights. I don't remember exactly how many.
Okay, and then let's go to 240, 51. And when was this?
This was the birthday outing for Mark's 11th birthday, and that's him and his friends.
And this is 11 days before?
Yeah, and I remember Karim sent me this photo and said they're having so much fun, they don't want to leave yet, because it'd been a couple hours that they were at the beach.
Before September 29, 2020, what were your dreams for your son's future?
I had, unlimited dreams. I had so many hopes and dreams. I loved how they both knew what they wanted to be, and they were able to make good choices, as far as I could see at that age. So I was dreaming of two very successful men, godly men, good people that would be able to also raise a family, have kids, bring me joy, bring me grandkids,
And were you looking forward to having a bigger
Even
family
bigger
and enjoying
family.
that the rest of your life?
Yes.
All right. Let's talk about September 29th, 2020.
Yeah.
Is it hard for you to talk about it?
Yeah.
Okay, we're just gonna get through it quickly, all right?
Okay. So on September 29th, 2020, Mark had school. He had water polo after school. I picked him up and we went home. Jacob was still doing school at home, doing his homework perfect. And but Jacob and Zach were home all day, and I was the kind of mom, I wanted them to get some fresh air during the pandemic.
This is during the pandemic.
During the pandemic, so they were home all day. I wanted them to get some fresh air and get out of the house. And we did do walks around the house, often. It wasn't something unusual. So I just took them out for a walk. This time they were on their wheels. So Mark was on his skateboard. He was, a skateboard enthusiast. And I was on my rollerblades. Jacob was on his rollerblades and Zachary was on his scooter. And we went to, we wanted like a flat road where there are no hills. So we went to Triumphal Canyon Road.
Did you walk there for your home, or how did you get there?
We took the car from our house to the intersection between Three Springs, that's the neighborhood, and Triumphal, and then we just started our walk on Triumphal. We started the walk, it was beautiful outside, there was the lake, it was nice, and we got to an intersection, the crosswalk, and at the crosswalk, I wanted them to get some pictures by the lake. The lake looks so nice, and I wanted the boys to take pictures by the lake.
Let me bring you back. You said that Mark had school that day,
Yes,
and how did he get home from school?
I picked him up.
Did you stop anywhere or do anything with him that day before you got home?
No, we just went home.
Did you go home and have lunch?
I believe he might have ate something. And then we left. Jacob didn't have anything to eat. Zachary, we thought, okay, well, when we come back, you guys can eat. And then we got to the intersection, the marked crosswalk.
Let me stop right there. Your husband,
Yeah,
Karim Iskander, was he with you all in the car when you went to the
Yes.
park?
yes, he was with us. Violet was also with us. I liked everyone to get some exercise, get some fresh air. And that day was the debate, the presidential debate of Trump against Biden. So Karim wanted to listen to it and go on a jog. So he took Violet in the stroller, and he had his headphones. He was listening to the debate, and I followed with the three boys. And then Karim kind of like was a little faster than us because we were going at the speed of Zachary.
Let me just stop you for a second. Going on these walks as a family, is this something that you never did a lot? How would you describe how often?
We did it all the time. Like I said, it's a beautiful neighborhood. It's a safe neighborhood. We did it all the time. We did it with wheels and without. It was something I also liked to do to bond with the kids and have this time with them.
And did Jacob have something that was supposed to take place
Yeah.
that day?
Yeah, so Jacob had cross-country practice that day, and he didn't want to go. He wanted to be with us.
Did he ever miss practice?
He really never missed practice. It was really unusual for him, but he ended up coming with us.
Do you think about that?
I think about that a lot, because he could have missed it. I remember Karim not wanting to let him miss practice, and I said, well, if he wants to be with me, then let him. So I think.
So the
about that
dads
a
are
lot.
always pushing for the practice and the mom's not?
Yeah, and it tortured me a little bit. And
And
then.
do you think back on that decision of him not going to practice and being with the family and how it may have been different?
Yeah,
What do you think about that?
I think about it all the time. Like, he could be with us. He could be a brother to Zachary still, had he gone to practice that day. Or maybe had he gone to practice, we wouldn't have gone on the walk at all. I play the scenarios in my head all the time, even now, almost 6 years later.
About what time did you, once you parked the car, start to walk?
I don't remember exactly. I don't remember exactly what time. I believe maybe it was 5 o'clock, 5:30, the most.
How were the lighting conditions on the road?
It was still light. It was still light.
What was the route you took?
We went we went on Triumph Road towards. Not very good with like southeast stuff, but we went towards the tennis courts, the tennis club, and Karim went a bit ahead of us.
So, at some point, did you try to cross the street?
Yeah, so we got to the intersection. I had the 3 boys with me. The lake looks very nice on the other side of the road. And we started, I told them, let's cross, let's go see the lake. I wanted them to take pictures together. And we crossed the first 2 lanes. And then as we were crossing the other side of the road, I heard and saw. So the way we were crossing all together in a cluster, but I kept Zachary, because he's the youngest, he's 5, so I kept him right by my knee. And Mark and Jacob were right behind me. And I also kept my eye on the road, like every parent would do, right? You just keep your eye on the road. So I heard the roaring engines and 2 cars, one black, one white, coming towards us in insane speed. I didn't know. Like I thought for a second, what's happening? They were accelerating towards the crosswalk. Is what I saw. What I saw is that they were coming towards me faster, and they were also like maneuvering a little bit or playing as if they were playing. And the black car crossed the intersection first, and it came towards me and Zach, and then I had to grab Zachary and dive from in front of that car. The bumper was coming towards me and Zach. I still see that bumper now. It's a trauma, but I still see it in my nightmares coming towards us. And then the white car passed exactly where Mark and Jacob were. And then I looked back after, and I didn't find them, and I started screaming.
Okay. Let's go back just a little bit.
Yes.
First of all, when you said you saw the cars, I forgot the term you used. What was the term you used? Then moving back and forth.
They either were swerving or like looked to me like they were playing or racing, or it wasn't 2 regular cars, driving towards an intersection. And it was extremely fast.
Were you able to tell the speed at all?
My guess for the speed would be faster than highway speed, definitely. And I could hear the engines.
Did it appear that they were trying to beat one another?
It appeared to me this way, and it appeared that they were trying to accelerate, trying to go faster.
I'm going to show 145-2. This is the crosswalk, and ask you to identify it for us, please. It's 145-2.
Yeah.
Okay. So on that crosswalk,
Yes.
on that exhibit,
Yeah.
145-2, there's a red line. Do you see that?
Yes.
Which direction was your family traveling at the time?
Crossing, you mean?
Yes.
We were crossing the same as the arrow is pointing, so towards these tennis courts, and then the lake is right there also.
Had there been any problem crossing the street up to that time?
No, up to the third lane almost.
Before, when you got to the first, curb, what did you do before you entered the intersection, if anything?
Like any parent would do with kids, you wait, you make sure there are no cars, street is safe to cross, and then we started crossing.
Had you ever had a problem ever crossing the street with all your kids in your life?
No, never. That's why I felt comfortable and safe.
Were there any cars even approaching the intersection when you were crossing?
No, there were no cars on the street at all. I waited until it's completely quiet. And I remember thinking, now that it's super quiet, we have time to pass, to cross, and even if a car comes, they'll see us and they'll stop.
And how far did you get across the street before you had to dive?
So we crossed that first lane near the mountains, and then the second one, and then the third one, and then right there at that line between the last two lanes is when I saw the cars. And maybe a step after that, I had to dive from in front of the black car.
Okay, you heard the cars coming, you saw them coming,
Yes.
you dived to the side, what happened next?
I was able to carry Zachary and escape from the black car by just a hair. And the black car made it through the intersection and escaped. And then I looked, and I couldn't find Mark and Jacob.
Before you crossed, did you tell the boys it was safe to cross?
I mean, it was understood that, it's clear.
In other words, you got to the intersection, did you just go into the intersection, or did you do something before you entered? The crosswalk, I'm sorry.
The crosswalk. We waited together, all together. Mark was a big boy, right? So he was with me as like another adult. It's like, okay, let's wait, let's make sure it's safe. It's a marked crosswalk, and it's an area where people walk their dogs and bike. So we just waited until there are no cars and we started crossing.
Did you see whether the black car hit Mark or Jacob?
No, the black car came towards Zachary and I. And it was coming at an insane speed. And it was accelerating as it was coming towards Zachary and I. And had it not been for me being able to hold Zach and just dive, I don't think I would have survived it. It did not hit us, and it did not hit Mark and Jacob. But it passed.
You said he was accelerated. How could you tell that?
That's what I saw, that it was coming at, the speed was faster and faster.
Okay, I want to show you Exhibit 176. You recognize that vehicle?
Yes.
What is that?
That's the kind of vehicle that's the vehicle that was driven.
I'll show you 177. Is that a vehicle you saw on that night?
Yeah, that's the white vehicle that was racing with it or playing with it.
When you,
the black one.
now you've dived out of the way,
Yeah.
you're on the ground with Zachary.
Yes.
What is the next thing you see or hear?
I look back and I couldn't find Mark and Jacob, and I started screaming. And I went to look for. I saw Mark. I went to look for Mark first. I went down the road, and I saw Mark. He had blood coming out of his mouth, and he was laying with his shoes were not on him anymore, and he had a broken arm. I could tell he was all broken, and I could tell he died. I could tell immediately.
It looked very abnormal.
He looked like he had catastrophic injuries, and I could tell that he died. I just knew. I don't know how, as a mother maybe, I knew he died. And then I went back. I made sure Zachary's fine. Zachary was sitting on the curb. And I saw Jacob. Jacob looked as if he was asleep. His eyes were closed. So I kept thinking he's gonna get up and we'll go home. I kept thinking there's no way God will take them both. I touched him. I felt he was alive. I put my ear on his chest. I heard his heartbeat. So I felt, okay, now I kept thinking, no, Jacob will get up and we'll go home. Then the paramedics started coming.
Did either one, the black SUV or the white SUV, stop after the collision occurred based on what you saw?
No, they didn't stop. There was a period of time where it was just me and the boys on the ground and Zachary on the curb until people started coming out of the tennis court and calling 911 and people started coming. But there was a period of time where it was just me and the boys. The two cars escaped immediately.
Did you see Mr. Erickson or Ms. Grossman ever come back and try to assist you and the boys in any way?
No, for sure.
Did you ever see Rebecca Grossman at the scene?
No,
Did you ever see Rebecca Grossman's car at the scene?
no,
Did you ever see Scott Erickson at the scene?
no,
Did you ever see Scott Erickson's car at the scene?
no.
Did you wonder where they were?
Yeah, I wondered who it was. Yeah.
So you went to Jacob. You felt his heartbeat. How did you feel then?
I put my ear on his chest.
And you heard the heart beating.
I heard the heart was beating. That's
Did you
what I
feel
heard. I saw-
optimistic that he might make it?
Yeah, I felt like he's gonna be okay just by hearing his heart.
Do you know who called 911?
I'm not sure.
What did you do next?
I called my husband. I said Mark died. He was like, "What are you talking about?" So he came running to us, and I called my mom, and I told her Mark died. She said, "That's the light I see with. What are you talking about? Did you lose your mind?" And I said, "No, Mark died, and then please pray for Jacob. I want him to be okay." We stayed there on the road for a little bit. The police officer came and he asked me what I saw. So I said, I saw a white car hit them. I think the white car hit them. I saw the black car pass, and I told him everything. And they said, "Ma'am, the person who did it ran away, but we'll do our best to find them." And I could hear the helicopters.
Did the paramedics ever come?
Yeah, paramedics came. And they told me Mark died. One of them
How did
told
you
me
feel
Mark died.
when that happened?
It was an absolute shock. It was almost like an out-of-body experience. Like it's absolute shock. And then they started doing CPR on Jacob.
Did you
They put a white blanket on Mark.
Did you ask the paramedics about Mark and try to see Mark before he was taken?
Yeah, I asked them. I said I want to see him. They had covered his body with a white blanket, a white sheet, and I said I wanted to see him, and they said, "No, sorry, ma'am, you can't." And I said, "Could I please at least see him before he's buried?" And they said, "Yeah, you'll be able to do that." So he promised me. He made that promise, and I did see him before he was buried.
Okay. What would happen next?
Next, police officer took my mom, I believe my mom and Zachary home. And then we went in the police car to Los Robles, where they took Jacob, the hospital. And we sat there by him.
And did the police officers drive your husband and yourself to the hospital?
Yeah, we went in the police car.
Which hospital did you go to?
Los Robles.
About how long do you think you were at the scene from the time of the collision until you went to the hospital? I know it may seem like a lot, if you're able to tell us.
Yeah, I really don't know, because they told me the time where Jacob died, and I really didn't feel the time at that point. Yeah, so I'm not sure.
What hospital? You told us Caneo?
Los Robles.
Los Robles Hospital. You got to Los Robles Hospital. What happened? Where did you?
They took him in the ER. They had cut his shorts and like removed his clothes, and he was connected to all the what I saw when I came in. He was connected to the IVs, and the ER doctor said if he makes it, our question was, is he going to be okay? Of course, is he going to make it? And he said if he makes it, he'll be paralyzed from the neck down. And that they were giving him meds to keep his heart beating, and he asked us if we'd like to stop the medication and just let him die. It was a hard question.
Did they tell you what was wrong with him?
They said if he makes it, he'll be paralyzed from the neck down. Karim's brother was with us at the time. He's a neurologist.
Is that Sharif
Iskander? No, the other one.
Oh, the brother, the neurologist.
The neurologist. So he came and he checked him. I believe he knew. He tried to explain to me a little bit that part of his
Was it?
I don't want to say the word. His spinal cord was separated from his skull, from his head, and then
Eventually, did something happen at the hospital? Well, let me re-ask that question.
yeah.
Did something happen to your son after that?
Yeah, they took us upstairs in a room to say goodbye. And I told him in his ear how much I loved him and how much I'm proud of him. I was screaming in his ear. I was kissing his feet. And I said, and I kissed him, and then he started turning blue up here. And then they asked me if I wanted to stay in the room and wait until he completely goes or just leave. So I left. I couldn't stay till the end. But I told him I was proud of him and I loved him. And I love him so much. And then I went outside the room and I asked, and I found a nurse and I asked her to please send him to the same morgue as Mark, because I knew it would be very cold. And I didn't know. I didn't want them to be not together at the morgue. And then we had to take an Uber home alone. At the time, Karim's brother had left and our friends from church had left, so we just Ubered home.
Did you feel that Jacob was not going to survive like his brother Mark, or did you have other feelings?
I felt that he would be able to make it. I don't know why. I was praying that please God, if you would keep him up, please do. In any condition, I'll take him. But he...
Well, while you were at the hospital, did you see Rebecca Grossman?
I did. I saw her. When we were asked the question if we'd like to continue giving him the meds or just let him die, I went outside the ER to see a friend of mine who had come from church. And I saw Rebecca Grossman standing out there. She was in handcuffs. She knew who I was.
How do you know that?
I'm sure she knew who I was because she looked at me and the police officer just tried to kind of pull her. And she just looked me in the eye. She was wearing a
Mask?
A mask, a COVID mask. And she just looked at me in the eye.
You didn't talk to her?
I did not talk to her. And I knew it. I was shocked at her age, that she's a woman and she's kind of an older woman, not a teenager. I had imagined it must have been a teenager that drive this way.
Did you eventually go home?
Yeah.
Well, what time did you go home? Do you even know?
I don't remember.
Was it late at night?
It's probably late at night. I remember that Uber ride. It was the coldest, most
Let me just tell you,
dark.
assume that the accident happened at 7:10. Just use that. Any idea how much longer it was to you? No idea.
No idea.
What were the next few days and nights like for you and your family?
It was shock for me, some denial, a little bit of denial, because I called Mark's friend's mom, Jenny. I told her that Mark will be missing school the next day because he won't be able to make it that day. So it was a bit of a denial. And then there was also dealing with Zachary's questions. So the first thing he asked when he woke up the next day, he said, "Mom, I know Mark died. Did Jacob at least make it?" And it's very hard on a parent because you want to handle his feelings and have him,
So,
accept it.
so eventually, and I assume, well, how was your husband doing during all this?
He was devastated. He was in shock. He didn't know what happened. He didn't see the cars. So he was a bit more lost than I was, because I kind of saw what happened, but to him, he left his boys on the fine, and he found them on the road. So it was very confusing.
Did you have people come stay with you?
Yeah, we had family come stay with us. My sister came. My parents, both brothers came. They stayed with us for a few days. My brother-in-law, Sharif, he took care of the phone calls and stuff you have to make to get coffins and the burial site.
Eventually, did you tell your son, Zachary, what had happened to his two brothers?
I did.
How did you feel having to do that? And then tell us how you did it.
I try not to break his heart, and I try not to make sure he's not going to get angry at God. So I told him, God said He wanted them both, so they had both to go, and that was the time. And he was really sad. He was upset, and he was crying, and I kept telling him, that's what God wanted for us.
How did Zachary react?
Also a lot of confusion and a lot of fear of this world, because he left the home with his brothers and all of a sudden they're gone.
Since him being there that day, being involved, perceiving, seeing what's happening, have you noticed changes in him since then?
Absolutely, yes.
Tell us what's the difference now versus then for Zachary, your third son.
He went from being a happy boy, following his brothers, learning from them, learning how to play Roblox, to a boy struggling with nightmares. He sees nightmares where he is in a cave or in a mine, and he finds a chest, and on the chest it's written Mark and Jacob's hearts, and it frightens him. He's not making a lot of friends, and when the teachers push him and say, you have to, hang out with the kids, play with the kids, talk to others, his response a number of times was, no one will understand. He feels that he's in a situation no one will understand, and that's forever. Let alone the actual loss of two friends that would have been with him.
How has this affected you?
The loss itself, like I said, is devastating, but also the loss of what could have been in terms of them being for him and with him, supporting him, and with their sister, supporting her and guiding her, is an everyday obstacle that I have to overcome, because every day there is a situation where, if Mark was here, he could have done this, or that could have happened had you had your brothers. It's beyond what words can describe.
Did you ever seek any counseling?
I did. I spoke to counselors. I spoke like three or four counselors, and it hasn't been helpful because they end up crying with me. And I think, and none of them said they've seen anything as deep, as tragic as what happened to me.
Do you relive that night?
Every day.
Why did you decide to have another child?
I needed hope. I really needed hope. I needed something to keep me going, and
How would you describe yourself as a mother now for your children versus how you were before?
I'm a broken mother for sure. Like I said earlier, part of me died with them. I have lost something in me to a point where I don't even remember that myself before I lost them. That person completely is gone. It's now a different one that's broken and grieving and thinking about the loss all the time, thinking about what if they were here.
Just since the deaths, you were living in Westlake at that time, is that right?
Yes.
How long did you continue to live in Westlake?
We moved for a little bit after to be with my sister in Texas because I couldn't be in that neighborhood. And then we went back to Westlake in 2022 and we stayed there till 2025.
And your house where you lived,
Yeah.
have you changed anything there relating to the boys? Is it the same?
No, my husband wanted to keep their beds, their everything the same for a
So-
long time.
If you went in the room today, almost 6 years later, it would be exactly the way it was on September 29th.
Yes, yes.
And why
And Karim-
didn't you change it? To get rid of the memories and not have to see it all the time?
No, I can't. I cannot. No parent wants to forget their kid. And Karim finds comfort in, I find him many days he'd leave our bedroom and go sleep in Jacob's bed on his pillow. So
Okay.
we need it.
You mentioned earlier that you liked being a professional working mother. Are you able to do that now?
I work now. No, I don't enjoy it anymore because I think of what can happen. The minutes we're losing, not being together, you never know, right? You might lose anyone anytime. So it's not the same anymore.
You told us about the project of memorizing Hebrews 11. And is that important to you?
Yes.
And are there certain portions of that that you kind of use for comfort, support to get through the day?
I like verse 11. I believe it says that Sarah had a child with faith. So it has to do with kids.
Chapter 11,
11.
and what is that? Why is that important to you?
It's important to me that because Sarah in the Bible, she couldn't have kids for a long time and God gave her a child. So I'm hoping that one day, I don't know how, I would be able to have a happy family like the way it was.
Is there another verse in Hebrews 11 that you find support, comfort with?
I don't remember. Maybe remind me if I said anything before.
I don't want to lead you, but is there anything about having a faith-filled life in the Hebrews 11?
It's the whole chapter is about faith, right? So we have to live by faith and act by faith and lean on God. So
Okay. One more question.
yes,
Why is this case so important to you?
the case against Mrs. Grossman or the
Well,
case
just
against
this
Mr.
case.
Erickson?
The whole case?
The whole case.
Yeah.
Because it's flesh and blood. Because what else is more important than life and kids? In simple terms. And I was just crossing a road. I wasn't crossing a racetrack.
Okay, nothing further. Thank you. Talking about Mark's song. Did Jacob have a favorite song of his?
Yes, we remember him now with 10,000 Reasons is his song.
Okay, I'm going to mark that as 473 in just a little bit. And can you tell us about the song and why that was important to your son?
It's a worship song that he liked, and he liked to listen to it on his way to the track meet.
Okay, when you say a worship song, can you explain that?
It's a Christian song.
Okay, let me just play that, 473. Okay, and the song goes on. And why did he choose that song of all the songs? Most kids are listening to, different kind of music.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was his favorite song to listen to on his way to track meets on Saturday morning. Maybe it gave him confidence. He was a godly boy, so he related to it.
Okay, and then finally I want to show you 4337. It's a video, and This is Jacob, and you've seen the video of Jacob describing his faith in a certain way. You remember?
I am not sure which one you're referring to.
Well, I don't want to lead you. Let me
It's
just
okay.
show you that
Okay.
video and ask you to explain
It's
it. They'll put it up. You can't activate that.
Being a Christian is like being a pumpkin by an unknown author. Being a Christian is like being a pumpkin. God takes you from the patch, brings you in, and washes off all the dirt. Then he cuts off the top and scoops out all the yucky stuff. He removes the seeds of doubt, hate, and greed. Last, he carves you a new smiling face and puts his light inside of you to shine for all the world to see.
Okay. So did that make you proud to hear your son talk like that?
yes, yeah. I helped him memorize that.
Okay. Thank you. Nothing for.
Try to keep your voice up.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Iskander.
Hello.
You mentioned that the family moved to Massachusetts for your husband's job, right?
Correct.
If it weren't for your husband's job, would you have preferred to stay in Westlake?
Probably, because I mean, I don't go to the cemetery a lot, but I like to drive by and say hello and cry.
And it sounds like you have a lot of friends and
Yeah,
church in the community.
I do.
So if money were not an obstacle, would you prefer to be in Westlake?
I mean, I like to be close to the cemetery, but I'm not sure how will I feel had it not been for his job, to be honest.
What about Texas? Would you prefer to be in Texas over Massachusetts?
Probably not Texas.
So it sounds like there's some part of you that wants to be back in California, you're just not totally sure.
I mean, the boys are buried there, but I also think of Zachary. It's because it's the three of us, myself, Karim, and Zachary. So I don't want to, I would rather be able to drive around there, if that's the question.
You'd rather be able to drive around here,
Around the cemetery.
right? And be close to the community that has
Yes.
embraced you.
Yeah. Primarily for Mark and Jacob.
All right. You've told us a little bit about Zachary. I'd like to know a little bit about your others. Can you tell me a little bit about Violet?
Violet she's 7 years old. She's in second grade. She knows about her brothers in heaven. She talks about them all the time. She in her speech meet, the last speech meet here at Ascension, and she repeated one of the speeches that Mark had done. So she's trying to keep their memory. She knows when mom's crying in the pantry. I always like to go and cry on the floor in the pantry, in the kitchen. So she'll tell you, well, mom misses Mark and Jacob. She's a sweet little girl, and she's trying to make my life bright. She's trying her best.
Understanding those moments of difficulty and sorrow with her, what do you do with her that actually brings you joy?
She plays gymnastics, so I enjoy watching her play. She was on team, so I enjoy watching her, and cheering on her. And just we make it through the days,
Is she a good student?
She's a good student.
And then Solomon, I heard from your husband you call him Solo.
Yeah.
How old is he now?
Solo's now 4.
What is he like?
He's a rambunctious little child. He's wild, and he
He knows about Mark and Jacob. He told his teachers. He told everyone. He tells people he knows. I can't run in the parking lot. I can't because some cars are dangerous. How else would I describe him? He's still a little child.
What kind of things do you do with him, or does the family do with him?
I mean, he's only 4. He goes to daycare. It's not much at this point. We do, yeah, he hasn't started any like soccer or anything like that yet.
What is his relationship like with Zachary?
So the difference in age between Mark and Zach was 6 years, and between Zach and Solo was 6 years, and I see how different these two were. Mark was like nurturing, loving, read books, caring. And it's not the same with Zachary, and I question myself as a parent because of that.